Adiz and Akudo were born into a loving family in a small village in Nigeria. Their parents, Chief and Mrs. Okoro, were kind and gentle, and they instilled in their daughters the importance of sisterly love and respect. As children, Adiz and Akudo were inseparable, playing together, sharing secrets, and supporting each other through thick and thin. As they grew older, however, their differences became more apparent. Adiz was beautiful, kind, and hardworking, while Akudo was bitter, resentful, and lazy. Despite their parents' efforts to encourage Akudo to be more like her sister, she refused to change her ways. Akudo's jealousy of Adiz began to grow as she entered her teenage years. She resented Adiz's beauty, her kindness, and her success. She felt that Adiz was getting all the attention and praise, while she was left in the shadows. Akudo started to distance herself from her sister, spending more time alone and brooding. One day, Akudo discovered a mysterious book in the forest. The book was bound in black leather and had strange symbols etched into the cover. As she flipped through its pages, she felt a dark energy coursing through her veins. The book seemed to be calling to her, urging her to embrace her jealousy and use it to get what she wanted. Akudo became obsessed with the book and spent every spare moment studying its dark magic. She learned how to cast spells and curses, and she began to use her newfound powers to harm those around her. Adiz was her main target, and she cast a curse on her sister that made her beauty and kindness fade away. Adiz was devastated by the curse. She felt like she was losing herself, and she didn't know how to stop it. She tried to talk to her parents and her friends, but no one seemed to understand what she was going through. Adiz knew that she had to find a way to break the curse. She searched far and wide for a solution, talking to wise men and women, and trying every remedy she could find. But nothing seemed to work. The curse was too powerful, and Adiz was starting to lose hope. One day, she met a wise old man who told her that the only way to break the curse was to perform a dangerous task. She had to fetch a rare flower that only bloomed on the top of a treacherous mountain. The journey would be difficult, but Adiz was determined to succeed. Adiz set out on her journey, facing many challenges along the way. She had to navigate treacherous terrain, avoid deadly creatures, and fight off fierce storms. But she refused to give up. She was determined to break the curse and regain her beauty and kindness. As she climbed higher up the mountain, the air grew thinner and the temperature dropped. Adiz was cold and hungry, but she pressed on. She knew that the flower was within her reach, and she was not going to let anything stop her. Finally, after many days of traveling, Adiz reached the top of the mountain. She found the flower of life, and it was more beautiful than she had ever imagined. The flower glowed with a soft, white light, and it seemed to pulse with a gentle, loving energy. Adiz picked the flower and held it close to her heart. She felt a surge of energy flow through her, and she knew that the curse was broken. Her beauty and kindness were restored, and she felt like herself again. Adiz began her journey back down the mountain, feeling grateful and relieved. She knew that she had been given a second chance, and she was determined to make the most of it. She vowed to never let jealousy and resentment consume her again. As she made her way back to her village, Adiz encountered many dangers. But she was not afraid. She knew that she had the power of the flower of life on her side, and she was confident that she could overcome any obstacle. Adiz returned to her village, and she was greeted with joy and celebration. Her parents and friends were overjoyed to see her, and they welcomed her back with open arms. But Akudo was not happy. She was angry and resentful, and she refused to apologize for her actions. Adiz confronted Akudo, demanding to know why she had cast the curse. "Akudo, why did you do it?" she asked, her voice shaking with emotion. "Why did you try to hurt me?" Akudo sneered at her sister. "You think you're so perfect, don't you?" She spat. "You think you're so much better than me. But you're not. You're just a foolish, naive little girl who doesn't know anything about the world." Adiz was taken aback by Akudo's venom. She had never seen her sister so angry, so bitter. "Akudo, what's wrong with you?" she asked, trying to keep her calm. "What's happened to you?" Akudo laughed, a cold, mirthless sound. "You happened to me," she said. "You and your beauty and your kindness. You made me feel like I was nothing, like I was invisible. And so I cursed you. I cursed you to be ugly and miserable, just like me." Adiz felt a surge of anger at her sister's words. She had never meant to hurt Akudo, never meant to make her feel invisible. But she knew that she had to stay calm, had to try to reach her sister. "Akudo, listen to me," she said, her voice soft and gentle. "I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you feel invisible. But I can see now that I did, and for that, I am truly sorry." Akudo sneered at her again, but Adiz could see the faintest glimmer of hope in her eyes. Maybe, just maybe, her sister was starting to see sense. Maybe she was starting to realize that her jealousy and resentment were misplaced, that Adiz was not her enemy. "Akudo, please," Adiz said, her voice cracking with emotion. "Please forgive me. Let's move forward, together. Let's forget the past and start anew. Akudo looked at her sister, and for a moment, Adiz thought she saw a glimmer of the old Akudo, the kind and gentle sister she used to know. But then the moment passed, and Akudo's face hardened again. "No," she said, her voice cold and bitter. "I will never forgive you. You will always be my enemy, Adiz." Adiz was heartbroken by Akudo's refusal to apologize. She realized that her sister was still consumed by jealousy and resentment, and she didn't know how to reach her. But she refused to give up. She knew that she had to find a way to forgive Akudo and move forward. Adiz spent many days thinking about how to approach her sister. She knew that she had to be patient and understanding, and she had to find a way to connect with Akudo on a deeper level. Finally, she came up with a plan. Adiz went to Akudo's hut and knocked on the door. Akudo answered, looking angry and defensive. But Adiz didn't back down. She looked her sister in the eye and said, "Akudo, I know you're still hurting. I know you're still jealous and resentful. But I want you to know that I forgive you. I forgive you for casting the curse, and I forgive you for trying to hurt me. I want us to move forward, together." Akudo was taken aback by Adiz's words. No one had ever forgiven her so freely before. She didn't know how to respond. But Adiz's kindness and generosity touched her heart, and she began to see her sister in a new light. Adiz and Akudo started talking, really talking, for the first time in years. They shared their secrets, their fears, and their dreams. They laughed and cried together, and they began to heal. As they talked, Adiz realized that Akudo's jealousy and resentment were rooted in her own insecurity and fear. She had been feeling left out and overlooked, and she didn't know how to cope. Adiz understood, and she shared her own struggles with Akudo. Together, the sisters found a new way forward. They started a business together, using Adiz's beauty and Akudo's brains to create something truly special. They became inseparable, supporting each other through thick and thin. And so, the curse was broken, and the sisters were reunited. They lived happily ever after, a testament to the power of forgiveness, kindness, and sisterly love. Number 1. Forgiveness and understanding can conquer even the deepest of hurts and jealousies. Adiz's decision to forgive her sister and try to understand her perspective, rather than seeking revenge or holding on to anger, ultimately led to a breakthrough in their relationship. It showed that even in the face of great hurt and betrayal, we have the power to choose how we respond, and that choosing forgiveness and understanding can lead to healing and reconciliation. Number 2. Communication and empathy in resolving conflicts. Adiz's efforts to talk to her sister and understand her feelings, rather than simply accusing her of wrongdoing, helped to diffuse the tension and create a space for healing. This shows that effective communication and empathy are essential tools in resolving conflicts and rebuilding relationships. Overall, the story teaches us that forgiveness, understanding, communication, and empathy are powerful tools for healing and reconciliation, even in the face of great hurt and betrayal.